everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kassiah, this is SiahSwag, and I'm super excited to show you this new pattern today. As soon as it came out, I knew I wanted to sew one up, and I was right. I'm in love with it. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous bag. This is called the Peaceful from Shamballa. Look at this. Isn't it so awesome? And it really is a minimalist bag. You don't need a lot of hardware. You don't even need these awesome LongJohn connectors. If you want to sew your handle onto here, if you want to just do like a hidden connector. I mean, you don't have to connect the handles these ways, but oh my gosh, why wouldn't you? Look how much it adds to this bag. I mean, it is so gorgeous. Look at that. I cut my handles at 28 inches, and that's how it fits on me. I think it's perfect. I like the length of the handles. I think it was like 27.5 in the pattern, so not much of a difference there. Okay, details on this gorgeous bag. I got this gorgeous, this is vinyl. This floral is a vinyl from Mary Beth Made It. And she has a bunch of beautiful new designs on pre-order. You can get it in vinyl, canvas, and I think cotton. I could be wrong on that. And I think you can choose smooth vinyl or textured vinyl. This is the smooth vinyl, and oh, it sewed up beautifully. I had no issues with it whatsoever. I will link all of that information below in the description. When you look at this video, it should have a little arrow underneath the video for the description, and it takes you down and it gives all the links for all of the things that I used. So the black vinyl is just marine vinyl from fabric.com. Inside I used waterproof canvas from fabric.com, and my pocket lining is more Mary Beth Made It canvas. Okay, interfacing foam on the outside pieces, Decaville Heavy on the bottom. And I think there's some Decaville Heavy for my connectors to support it. And I think that's it. That's all of the interfacing I use for this bag. It is a gorgeous design. It comes together so fast. These tassels are super easy. I don't show you how to make the tassels, but all I did was I did a 1/4 inch strips. I just kept measuring a 1/4, 1/4, and did the tassels all the way. She has templates too if you need to use the templates. It's a fairly easy pattern. I think the most difficult part was probably the end where you put it together, these little like coming around this curve and up here, but I don't think it's hard. I think you could probably do it if you're an experienced beginner to intermediate. It has a simple bottom, boxed bottom. I love box bottoms. Let's see, you could add a pocket on the back, I think. I thought of that after the fact. I would love a pocket on the outside. I did do all one color on mine, all floral on her example. She has just this front panel, a printed panel, and the rest of it is solid. So it's up to you. I just really wanted to use this vinyl. Okay, so this zipper closure, I absolutely love it. Look how pretty that turned out. Like, it's nice and compact. And look at that opening. Woohoo! All right, I did just a zipper pocket on the inside. I just used my own measurements. She does have videos for zipper pocket tutorials and templates, so you can follow that as well. You could easily put a slip pocket in here. I should have, after the fact, I realized that. Slip pocket, zipper pocket, waterproof canvas. I mean, I love it so much. I love this bag design so much. Have fun with it. I think you could probably do a lot of different fun variations to this bag. Okay, so go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will start making this gorgeous bag. Okay, let's go over our pieces for the Peaceful bag. I am using a vinyl and waterproof canvas and a cotton canvas for the inside zipper pocket. I'm just doing one inside zipper pocket. You can do a slip pocket too. The inside's kind of, you know, as you want to do it. So it's up to you. All right, have everything cut out. So I have my front and back main panel. I am doing all of my outside in this floral instead of doing two contrasting vinyls or fabrics or colors. I'm just doing it all in this floral because I love it so much and I want to use it. So I have a front and a back panel cut out. I have two things of foam already cut out that I will use to interface. I'm not sure if I absolutely need foam on this bag, but it does call for it in the pattern. So I'm going to try it first with it and see how I feel about it. All right, so here is my bottom piece. I did do Decaville Heavy out of the seam allowances under this and then foam on top. You have your fringe pieces. There should be a right and a left, all cut out and ready to go. Okay, I'm doing this black vinyl over the floral. I think it'll look cute. And then I have one contrasting piece on the top for my front panel. Now, if you wanted to do the fringe and the contrast on front and back, you could do that as well. If you really wanted a lot of fringe, go for it. Okay, so I have that. And I also have it marked already, and I'll show you how I did that. And so my lining, I have my two lining pieces all cut out, waterproof canvas. I have my lining top pieces in this black vinyl because you will be able to see that top piece of the lining when your zipper is closed because it's going to be on the top where the zipper is right under it. So I usually like it to match my outside materials. And then I have my canvas piece for my zipper pocket. I didn't interface it. It feels like a good thickness. I don't think I have to. I have my handles already made. They're just regular handles, okay? I've showed a lot of times how to do that. I have my zipper pocket piece. I have my main zipper closure. And I am doing these LongJohn connectors, which I think I've only ever done one bag with these before. So I'm excited to do these. I did get these from Emmaline. I know that Indo Love Creation sells them. Where else have I seen these? I've seen these on a couple of hardware sites. They are a little pricier, but they're gorgeous when they're on. They come with the pieces and they come with these huge washers to put behind them and screws. So I will put those on, and then I have my nameplate, and that is all we need. This is a pretty basic bag. If you wanted to leave out the LongJohn connectors and just sew the handles onto your bag, you could do rectangle rings, you could do hidden connectors. I mean, there's lots of different possibilities for this. All right, this is my first time through, so let's get going. Okay, so I have my top band here. And what I did was they have you draw a line. I think it's 1/4 of an inch away from the edge there. I clipped these curves, just tiny little clips along these two curves here. And I put some double-sided tape, not directly on that line, but a little bit up so it'll catch my material, but hopefully I won't be top stitching through the tape as I go. So you can also use glue if you want to. That's another way to do it. So you could do it that way, but the key is you don't want a raw edge here. So it's just making it so you don't have a raw edge. Now, if you don't care about having a raw edge, then you don't have to fold all this up. That could be an option. I did think about that. I'm like, well, some people don't care that it's a raw edge. But since this is a tutorial, I am going to fold this up. It really does help putting those notches on that curve. It just helps it go up nicely. Okay, so I have my, so that's what the front looks like. It's just going to be nice and finished when I put it on. Okay, so grab your front piece with your fringe. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna top stitch, or not top stitch, base stitch this fringe on real quick, just so it doesn't move on me while I'm doing all this other stuff. If you just wanna clip it all at the same time, you can do that too, but I'm going to just baste this on real quick. Okay, so those aren't going anywhere. So then you're gonna get this top piece and you are just lining it up with the top of your main panel, okay? And you're sewing that directly onto the bag. Pretty easy. Okay, just like that. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come here and I am going to do an 1/8 of an inch top stitch all the way over to the other side. And then we will trim away the material that's behind this, and then that will be my full piece. Pretty cool how she did that. All right, so I'm just top stitching this piece on now. I'm kind of holding it too. If you wanted to, you could use double-sided tape and you could tape this down to your piece too up here if you wanted it to not move at all. Maybe I should have done that, but I didn't. I'll let you know. All right. Woohoo! So that's my main panel piece now. You see how I just top stitched that on? Ooh, I love it. Now I'm gonna cut away this extra in the back. And it was just fine with just clipping. I didn't need to use double-sided tape, but you totally can if you want to. Now I'm just gonna trim away this extra in the back, right? Yep. All right, I'm just gonna trim this away. Oh, I hate cutting away my beautiful vinyl. All right. And that is my beautiful front panel piece. Now I'm going to baste on my foam, interfacing. My goodness, my words are not coming to me. Sorry about that. If you don't want the thickness in your seams, you can totally keep the foam out of your seams and fuse it, or you can use a fusible Decaville Light. My machine can handle the layers, so I'm just basting the foam on. And I'm using Basel inner foam that I get off of Amazon. All right, so that's on the back. It's all good to go. I'll go ahead and repeat for the back piece. Oh, before I go on, I have already put some Decaville Heavy and fused it onto my vinyl pieces where my LongJohn connectors are gonna go. So I already have that like good and reinforced for when I add those to my panels. Okay, so we're gonna put the LongJohn connectors onto our main panel. So I have one already installed here, and I did my nameplate too. So I would suggest installing them before you put the foam on, because the foam made it too thick, because I already had that layer of Decaville Heavy, and I think I'd much rather have the Decaville Heavy behind this than the foam. I feel like it gives it a little bit more security. So I did cut out a little spot so I could install them, and then I put duct tape over those connectors to give it a little bit more security. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I did that. These LongJohn connectors are not my friend. They take some practice. I had to call my friend Leslie because she's installed them so many times. So the thing that solved the problem for me, my screw was not coming into contact with them when I put it through. I had to bend my connector slightly up. Do you see how it bends up like that? Right at that middle hole, I just gave it a slight bend, and that helps it fit into your connector so your screw will go in. That's what I have learned. You do 3 holes, top and bottom, and my top and bottom hole is slightly bigger than my middle hole, which is the screw hole, okay, on both sides. So I'm going to, because this connector has like these little, do you see those 2 little, that has to go through your bag on both of them. And then your screw is in the middle here and there. Okay, so that's why you need 3 of them. So I'm going to just put this on, and hopefully this goes on the first time and I don't struggle. Okay, so that's in all of the holes. I put my washer bracket on. And then my screw. All right, here we go. And it looks like I need to move my hole slightly on one of them. So I will, just a minute. It doesn't line up exactly, so I think I need to go a little bit up on this one. So I just need to make a slightly, I need to switch this out just a second. The nice thing about this Japanese hole punch is it does come with different sizes, right? So there's a couple of different sizings you can have on it. So I need to go slightly up on this one right here, and that should do it. And for time's sake, I'll probably just show this one. All right. There. And my screwdriver. All right, going in, yay. Just give it good. All right, so there is my bottom one, and then I'll do the top one. So those are all my tips I can give you. That is what I have learned with installing these. They are amazing when they are on your bag and done, but they can kind of be a pain in the booty. I'll just drop my screw to install. All right, come on. Nope. Do it again. I think, there we go. Okay. That is done. I will put a piece of duct tape over that, and I will install the second one, and then we will go from there. Okay, I got all my connectors on. I had to switch my finish to gunmetal. I got to my very last nickel LongJohn, and this last hole, I kept trying to screw it in and screw it in and screw it in, and it would not go. And so I took it off, and I tried just to do a screw without it even on, and the actual hole on the LongJohn doesn't have any threads on it for the screw to catch. So I got a defective LongJohn connector. That's just my luck. So yay! So I had to switch all of mine out for gunmetal. I don't have any more gunmetal nameplates, so we're just gonna keep it nickel. And I will change my zippers to gunmetal. So lesson learned. Check all of your screws and the holes. Make sure they all work before going through the process of putting these on. Okay, awesome. So now that we have those on, I've duct taped them on really good. They're not going anywhere. Front and back, let's move on. Okay, so we're gonna finish putting together the exterior. So take your front exterior piece and your bottom, and we're going to line that up with that little notched out area here. All right, and we're gonna sew that on, and we're gonna use a 3/8 seam allowance along there. Make sure you're not catching any of your fringe into this seam. All right, once those two are connected, you're going to fold this down and you're going to top stitch along the bottom piece at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, my seam is going towards my bottom piece. All right, so repeat with the other side of your bag. All right, and you want that seam going towards your bottom piece. All right, so that's what we have so far. So we're going to take it, I'm going to just clip these over to the side like that, so I do not catch it in my stitching. Okay, so we're gonna close it up, and we're going to stitch our sides together at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Right? Yep. So this one's just a 1/4 inch seam allowance along the sides. Okay, repeat. All right, so once you have that, then you're going to box your corners here. So you're going to take your corner and flatten it, and you're going to box it out. Actually, I'm just going to fold mine like this real quick and find my center. That'll help a little bit with lining my seam up. And then you sew these box corners at a 3/8 inch seam allowance. So it goes from a 3/8 to a 1/4 and then back to a 3/8, okay? Don't move on me. There we go. All right, so let's sew that up. Let me switch the camera. You want to make sure your seam is flat. And doesn't move like that when you flatten it. Sorry for the barking dog. Okay, try that again. Marley, stop. Okay. So now we want to turn it out. And it all stitched up there. Let's see what we got. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Bottom, back. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. All right, let's start working on the lining. Okay, so I am just going to put a zipper in my lining piece. I'm just doing it my way. I'm just doing one full piece. Drew out my rectangle 1 inch from top and sides, and I'm going to sew around that. I've centered it, and now I'm going to sew it on. All right, and then we're gonna cut that out. And I will turn it through, give it a little press with my iron. I'll cover my waterproof canvas with a Teflon sheet. I don't want heat directly on it. And then we'll install our zipper. Okay. Pull it through like this, and I will iron it, and we'll come back. Okay, so you want to take your zipper, put double-sided tape top and bottom on it, and put it into your zipper box. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and sew around that. I'm a little far down on that. That's okay. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to sew up the top here. And the sides. All right, that's my zipper pocket. On my inside, you can do a slip pocket on the other side if you want. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. All right, so next we are going to add our top zipper. All right, so I have my top zipper here. I have marked an even line across the top. I'm going to turn it down and sew it at a 90-degree angle. I also, on the back of the other end, marked a line across because we will be taking the zipper completely apart. And so that helps at the end for me to line up my zipper correctly. So you might want to do that. So I'm just going to split this open right here. I'm going to pinch at those lines and fold it up towards the zipper there. I've shown this on lots of videos too. All right, and do the same on the other side. You do this a lot in bag making. Good skill to do, to learn. You can base stitch it with your needle and thread, or you can use your machine. It's up to you. Whatever works the easiest for you. Okay, so after you have that basted down, you're going to trim it off so it's even, and then you'll melt your zipper tape. You always want to melt your zipper tape, or else it'll fray and unravel on you, and you don't want that. Okay, so I have my lining piece. I have 2 inches on each side marked. Okay, I've got a little marking there, a marking there, and that's where I'm going to start. So you want it face up, okay? And I know that I want my zipper to open and close the same way as my zipper pocket, okay? And we are going to clip this on, and I'm gonna baste this on here first, and then we will add our top, what's it called? The contrasting piece on top of this. Contrast band, that's what it's called. So just go slow, it has a slight curve. And at this marking over here is where you're gonna kind of pull it off to the side. All right, so you can go ahead and take your zipper apart. If you want, you could leave it together too if you're not comfortable taking it apart. It just makes it a little bit easier. And I'm just basting this on first. And I just pull it off right there at that mark. All right, now I want to get my contrasting piece, this, and it's going to be kind of funky. I did clip my center on this piece, didn't I? Did I not? No, I didn't. Okay, clip your centers. Oh yeah, I did. There it is. All right, so your piece is going to flip up like that. So you want it flipped down. So it's kind of be weird with this curve. You can clip your curves on this band if you need to, if that helps. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm just going to give it some little snips along here. It'll just help it lay a little bit better. All right. So that is what that should look like. Kind of funky. All right, so we're gonna sew along that zipper. Try to get as close as you can. If you can do a 3/8, great, fabulous, do that. Oops, sorry about that. If you wanna change to a zipper foot, go for it. I'm gonna try and do a 3/8, we'll see. If you need a stiletto tool, that might help keep this in place while you sew it. Okay, you're going to flip that up. And we are going to have our seam allowance laying down in the back. And we're actually going to top stitch along underneath, right? Yeah, we're gonna top stitch underneath this zipper with the seam allowance laying up like this. I need to check my bobbin real quick. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna top stitch this seam down. All right, so that's what that looks like, because when you close it, that should be the right way up. Okay, so get your second piece. Now remember, your pieces fall together like this. So this side over here is going to be the start of my zipper. So it's going to be opposite, okay? So just remember that when you're sewing this together. So 2 inches from each side here. Start and stop. And you want it right side up. So it's right side to right side. And we're starting at the opposite side. All right, go ahead and repeat everything again that we just did. Okay, next we will put the lining together. Okay, so now we're gonna put the lining together. All right, so I put it together. Your tails should be at the same end. Yay, we got that. Okay, so we're going to do our sides and the bottom. Now, you do have the option, I think, of, since this is a boxed bottom, that's what this one is. You could totally... Could you do that? Yeah, you could totally leave this pocket open and pull the whole bag through this boxed bottom and then pull the lining through the pocket and close it up and then close up the pocket. I've done that before many times and that works fabulous as well. I am just going to do it through the lining this time though, because I wasn't thinking ahead of time. So, okay. Here we go. We're going to leave an opening in the bottom of the bag. So I'm going to start with a 1/4 inch seam allowance on the sides. And then I will increase to a 1/2. And it'll just help our bag, our lining fit in our bag a little bit easier and it won't be baggy. And then I'm going to leave a pretty good size hole in the bottom of the bag, okay? So I will start with that 1/4 inch seam allowance here. And then I'm going to increase to that 1/2 inch. Still sewing that 1/2 inch. And I am going to go like this. And that will just give me a little extra support when I'm turning the bag through the bottom, that it won't rip my stitches. All right, so I will start over here. Okay, now I'm just going to trim these bottom parts up here. And now we need to box the corners, okay? Since we aren't leaving the whole boxed bottom open, we need to box these corners. You can nest your seams, you can lay them flat, however you want to do it. All right, so that's my lining. I have a nice big hole in the bottom. We are going to put it together with our exterior. Yay. Okay, so I have my exterior and I'm going to place it inside my lining. I want my zipper opening and my zipper pocket this way. All right, that's my front, yes. I want my zipper pocket along the back of my bag. Make sure all your tassels are in, out of the way. Make sure your connectors are clipped down. All right, here we go. So now we want to clip our sides first. Line up your side seams. I'm gonna lay mine flat. All right, and then we're just gonna clip it all together. Now, she suggests doing notches in all your curves up here. So at the end, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take pinking shears to it, and that'll help with those curves when you turn it, and they will lay nice. You definitely either need to do notches or pinking shears. Don't just leave it, because it won't lay very nice if you leave it. All right, lines up pretty nicely. All right, I'm gonna sew around this with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, okay? And then we will turn it out. Okay, I just want to give it a good look. Make sure my stitching looks okay. Yeah, it does. Okay, so let me grab my pinking shears just a minute. I'm gonna take these suckers and trim all of my curves here. Can't really get in there. I think I'll just cut some notches right there. Make sure you don't cut your actual stitches. All right. I think that's okay. All right. So here's the true test. Let's pull this through. My vinyl is kind of sticky, so this might be a little hard, but I left a pretty big opening, so I think I'm okay. Again, I've heard the trick that you can heat up your waterproof canvas with the hair dryer. It makes it more pliable. Anybody want to try that? But this is working okay. It's not that hard. That was a nice big hole. No problem. Okay. Ooh, so pretty. So what I like to do first, I like to top stitch before I close up my opening in case I need to reach in. Do you see how I'm reaching in and I'm kind of pushing out all of my curves and edges here so I can get a nice top stitched edge. All right, it looks pretty good. I'm just gonna stick that in there for a minute. I definitely would only do vinyl plus foam if you have an industrial machine, because it is pretty thick along this top seam. I would probably keep it out of my seam allowances if I didn't have an industrial. Okay, you can kind of roll it in between your fingers, okay, to get that good crisp edge there. And then just go around and clip that. And this might kind of be tricky right here to top stitch. It's going to be a little hard, I think. But we can do it, right? Yes. I am loving this bag so far. gosh, look how pretty that is. Yay. Okay, so I am going to very slowly top stitch this. And then we'll close up the hole in the bottom. We'll put our zipper on and we'll put our handles on. I'm putting something over the back of my foot here, just wadding it up under there, and it'll help it because it's got to get over this. There's this thick seam right here, and it just helps it get right over that seam. Then I got to make sure it doesn't eat it up from behind here. Looks good. Check your stitching. Oh, so pretty. Okay. It looks good, guys. There's my top stitching. Take it nice and slow, always. All right, so we are going to stitch up our lining here. All right. Now, if you're being like really a perfectionist with this bag, what I would do is change the color of my thread to match my lining. Okay, if you really want your stitches to be hidden in the lining of the bag, go ahead and change your thread out. I am not going to do that because that is not as easy on my machine. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to sew this up. All right, let's put our zipper and see what it looks like. So I'm looking at that line in the back and making sure that it lines up. There. My line's perfect across, so I know that it's lined up. So that, oh my gosh, look how awesome this zipper looks. Look at that. Wow, that's slick. That is slick. Okay. So all I'm going to do is I am going to add a zipper end cap. I'm not going to do it on camera. And I will just be riveting on my handles. So I'm just going to take my handles. Sorry. I'm just going to take my handles. I'm going to put them up and through like this. And I'm going to put a rivet right there on all four. You could even do 2 rivets if you want. I usually do 2 rivets. It's just more secure, but I think there's only room. Well, we'll see. 1 or 2 rivets, and then you're done. We are done. Yay! I put some rivets. I just did 1 rivet on each handle. These would be super cute with strap-ins too. I'm kind of wishing, because the strap hardware is so pretty, I'm kind of wishing I put strap ends on my handles as well. I think if I do this bag again, I definitely would be doing strap ends on these handles. Gosh, guys, I knew I would love this bag, but I am in love with this bag. It is just so pretty. I would do almost everything the exact same way, except before the foam, put the handle connectors on, obviously, like I had said. But other than that, I wouldn't change a thing on this. I think you probably could put a crossbody strap on it if you wanted to. You could probably even just hook your crossbody strap, you know, on opposite sides. But there you go. Yay! All right, Peaceful by Shamballa. I hope you guys love this bag as much as me. Please let me know if you have any questions, any concerns, comments, whatever. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this. All right. Thank you so much for watching.